Hello, everybody, and welcome into Off the Boards. I am one of your hosts, Josh, over there. Yeah, that way. That's Ethan over there. And as you can see, we're Ryanless today. This is the first time we've been Ryanless. Now, I don't think we're ever going to be Joshless because I'm the one that records this. So if I'm not here, there probably isn't the show. But well, we'll get through it. Ryan will be back next week. But yeah, so we have a little bit of hockey news this week. You know, there's some stuff that we came up with this week. I'm trying to blank all of a sudden. What the heck just happened? Hold on.
A lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff.
Yeah, I had something else to say that I feel like I normally say, but I forget. Anyways, like I said, I'm Josh. That's Ethan. Together, without Ryan today, we're off the boards. Yeah, so let's just get into it. You know what? I'll talk about this first because Ryan's not here. So the Habs still playing pretty subpar, I would say. Probably Ryan is pretty abysmal. They're icing an AHL team essentially because of all their injury list. I don't have enough time to read off their entire injury list. Just know that as of last week, I haven't looked at this updated, but as of December 11th, Toffoli was out with 8 weeks, and Evans got hurt, and I don't know what the end result of that Evans injury was. But that would mean that they are now basically an AHL team with Nick Suzuki. So, good for them. Good for the Habs. Good for the Habs, you know. They'll...
So, I'm not complaining.
This is the first time I can harass the Habs and not have Ryan breathing down my neck, so makes me happy. Yeah, so I get...
It's a huge part.
Exactly. Moving on from the Habs, the Dallas Stars have made some interesting moves this week. It started off with Ben Bishop deciding that he was going to call it quits. His career is now over. It seems like that knee injury he had is just... He doesn't want to take the daily grind anymore, and it kind of seems like he's got glass bones. He's kind of always injured. But what really confuses me about Dallas is that happened on the 11th, or the 12th, sorry, the 12th. And then today, I read an article saying that they put Khudobin on waivers, meaning that they're just leaving Braden Holtby. Now, unless they have someone else that I don't know about and that I haven't been paying attention to. But, Ethan, what do you think the Stars are doing? Like, are the Stars just, like, kind of, like, not punting on the year necessarily, but, like, they're just like, you know what, we don't care? I mean, they're 13-10-2.
That's kind of why I don't understand that, because it's not like Khudobin. I'll be like 100% honest here. I don't watch a lot of Dallas games. I mean, I love the team Dallas, but this season I haven't been watching a lot of Dallas teams. And if you don't mind me for a sec, I'm just gonna quickly look at Khudobin's stats and kind of see if there is like a full issue here, or if it's just like a...
There's a lot of interest in him, apparently. I just saw an article that said that there's a lot of generated interest in Khudobin right now, which I'm very confused. What is Dallas doing?
I mean, Dallas seems to now be running Braden Holtby and Jake Ottinger. Jake Ottinger's an up-and-coming prospect.
Yeah.
Braden Holtby's been playing, I guess, really good for Dallas this season. I have seen that. Because just, you know, he was a Canuck last year and he played like dog, so he's playing really good this year.
Wow. Yeah,
but
I wouldn't even say really good. He's playing average. Honestly, out of the two stats, the two goalies, Ottinger and Holtby right now, I think Ottinger has been the better goalie. I mean, his goals against is a 1.52 and his save percentage is a 9.51. That is those are some Jack Campbell looking numbers if I've ever seen them. Well, we'll get into Jack Campbell a little bit. I got some actual stuff I want to say about the Leafs because oh baby.
See, okay.
But
I'm looking here now.
Yeah.
Oh, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, looking at Anton Khudobin's stats and seeing a 3.73 goals against average and a .873 save percentage.
How do you go from being like a Stanley Cup? Because I mean, they didn't win the cup, but like they made it to the finals, and he kind of carried them through that. To that,
He certainly did.
It's nice because it seems like Dallas actually does have a contingency plan, because I forgot about Ottinger or Ottinger.
Sure.
Yeah, Ottinger. Yeah, so I kind of forgot about him, but they could run this tandem with Holtby and Ottinger. It doesn't seem like that's their issue. Honestly, it seems like their issue is for point production. I mean, their leading point getter is Joe Pavelski right now with 21, and then I'm pretty sure this guy is a rookie. Jason Robinson has 20 points in 19 games. He might not be a rookie. I'm gonna double check my numbers, but no, sorry, he played last year. He had 45 and 51. But so he's playing. He's still playing really good, Robert. Is it Robin or Robert? Sorry, Robert.
Robertson.
Yes. Good player. I mean, after that you have Rob Hintz, good player, but your guys like Tyler Sagan and Jamie Benn. Tyler Sagan's -8 with 11 points in 25 games. What in the hell happened to him?
It's crazy, It's so crazy to think about that. Because you think 2 years ago, this guy was like a 78 point player.
Even last year.
Yeah, now he's last year he didn't play. He was injured last year, but I think he played like
you're right.
Yeah. So yeah.
3 games, 2 goals. The year before that, 69 games, nice, 50 points. The year before that, 80 points and 82. Maybe I've overvalued Tyler Sagan in his career. I thought that he was like a 90 point guy, but Ethan, I don't know if you know this, the guy has never cracked 85 points. He cracked 84 as his career high, and it was his first year in Dallas.
Yeah, Tyler Sagan, I love Tyler Sagan. He's probably one of my favorite NHL players in the league. Mm-hmm. That's what I love watching Dallas games, but it's tough to see when a guy like that is struggling. And he's only 84 points.
Yeah.
But I mean, Dallas hasn't always been a top contending team. They've always been pretty mediocre.
But that year
they went to the cup final.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's money in the bank for 30 goals normally. Like in a normal season. The last full season he played, he was money in the bank. He had 40 the last full year he played. He had 33 the full season. And then the COVID bubble, he had 17 goals in 69 games. Nice. So he actually had a rapid decline all of a sudden, because he went from 33 to 17. I know that technically we missed out on, if he was at 69 games, that means he missed 13. But I'm sorry, but Tyler Sagan is, unless he was going to score 13 goals in 13 games, like that, go on a crazy tear. But man, right now, the guy's got 7 goals in 25 games, meaning that he's on pace for 28, 25, somewhere between 20 and 30 goals. And this is not the Tyler Sagan that we're used to. This is and I don't know if it's, Jamie Benn's bringing in this guy's point production down, but maybe, in the past few years, we've overvalued Tyler Sagan and Jamie Benn. Maybe they're not, at least I have, maybe they're not the stars that I thought they were. Maybe it's time to either kick them down the road or try to get assets for them, because it looks like guys like Robin Hintz and Jason Robertson, obviously they're your future. But it seems like instead of them being your future now, they're the present. They are, they're the stars. You got to play these guys because your stars are not performing. Jamie Benn's got 13 points in 25. Even Andrew Radulov. Radulov's got 11 points in 25 games. He's -11. -11? Bro, we are way too far into the season for you to be -11 right now. 25 games in, around Christmas time is the point in time where you're going to make or break your playoff season, essentially. It's really hard. It's easy to fall out of the playoff spot from now till the end of the year, but it's really hard to make up ground now if you are not in a playoff spot. You're like, if you're near the bottom, you have to go on an Ottawa Senators type run with the Hamburglar to get into the playoffs right now. And
yeah, the St. Louis Blues,
the Binnington, like you need a Binnington, you need someone like the Hamburger, you need something like that to drag you back in. But to me, the problem on the Stars team isn't goaltending. Like Ottinger could come in and steal the show, but they can't get a goal. Like they can't. Like their leading goal scorer right now has 11 goals, and it's Hinst. After that, it's 9, 8, 7, 7, 5. So you have one guy who's over double digits right now, and you have only 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 5 guys, including Hinst, who are over 5 goals. That is bad. Yeah. I'm not a Dallas Stars fan, but like this team's got the defense. I know they do. Klingberg. What's that new guy's name? Heiskanen. And obviously Lindell, yeah. And obviously we just saw it. They have the goaltending. It's 100% on their forward core. And I'm gonna be honest, I thought they had a good forward core. I thought a line of Radulov, Sagan, and Ben would just kill teams. I'm like, bro, that's a first line on any team. But I obviously over-evaluated Radulov's value too. Like when Radulov came back into the league, everyone's like, maybe this guy could pop, maybe he couldn't. And he signed with Montreal originally, right? That was where he came back in.
Yep.
And he played well enough to get another contract and go to Dallas. And Ryan was quite upset. I remember I'm gonna ask him this, but I'm pretty sure he was upset when he left Montreal because he just kind of lost a free player. But it's tough. I mean, you got guys like Gurionov, like you've got young guys coming up, but honestly, at this point, if I'm Stars management, I gotta be either looking at trying to move Tyler Sagan, move Jamie Benn, try to move Radulov. Like, you gotta start bringing in younger players, because those 3 guys are not getting any younger. And so their performance, like, statistically, from a hockey standpoint, their performances are slowly gonna start doing this, and they're already doing this. They're already on the decline. Get out now. Get the assets you can. If you trade him, let's say you traded Sagan to, I don't know, the Islanders for something, like just a random team in the East. Just, it doesn't matter what team it is, just a random team in the East. And he performs well. Okay, cool. He wasn't doing that in Dallas, and he probably wasn't going to. You have to, like, sometimes in life, you have to make the hard decisions on what you want to do. And right now, I believe that the best opportunity for the Stars to make the playoffs is to move Tyler Sagan, Jamie Benn, or Radulov, or all 3, or 2 of them. Get in younger players, not necessarily prospects, but not necessarily proven guys either. Put them into the roles and try to get them to prove themselves. Because right now, you need someone who can go out and guarantee you 30 goals a year. Right now. Like, that's all this team needs. That's all they need. Like, they've got Pavelski. They have a great penalty kill. They probably don't have a good power play because they can't score goals. But, like, their goal difference right now is -1. It's 69 to 70. Like, they're really just, like, biting that line. They're 13, 10, and I think 3. Like, they're 13, 10, and 2 because they play 25 games. But it's like, like they're right there. Like, they're that close. If they're on, like, Bettman 500, they're +1. So, it's, I don't know, like, that, to me, like, that's what I think the Stars need to do to fix their problems. I don't know if you agree or not, but I think it's time.
Dallas has been such a, like I said, a mediocre team for the past couple of years now. Mm-hmm. They've never been bottom of the league, but they've never been a cup contender.
Yep.
I mean, when they went to the Stanley Cup Finals in 2020 against Tampa Bay, I don't want to say it was kind of a fluke, but, like, did anybody really expect Anton Khudobin to be posting a 940 up until the Stanley Cup Finals?
To go on a Cinderella run? No, we never expect goalies to do that. Like,
it's just, Dallas has been so medium of the pack, and when they did bring in Sagan from Boston, which was a great deal, trading Louis Eriksson and Rich Peverley for Tyler Sagan,
that's some Dioff enough for Sagan and Hagman kind of trade. Like, Like that's that kind of borderline trade move. But I thought Sagan, like I said, I thought Sagan was a much better player. Like, and I think he is. I don't know what's happened to him.
Yeah, I think Sagan is a really good player, and I think he just needs to shake up. You know, he's still young. He's in his prime.
Yeah.
He's what, like 27, 28?
Give me 1 sec. I will find the correct answer for you. He is 29, actually.
I don't think he's that old.
29.
29, okay.
And
just
he's already declining. Because the last time we saw him play, close to a full year, he only had 17 goals. And he's used to 30 to 40.
I think he just needs a better shake-up. And because, I mean, it's not that Dallas has terrible forwards. It's just they're not playing well.
I think that they need...
Well, Jamie Benn has not been playing good. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Jamie Benn has not been playing good for the past couple seasons. I watch Dallas as like a secondary to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's Vancouver on top, and then it's Dallas.
Yeah.
You know? I love watching Dallas, but like I said, I haven't watched much Dallas this year, but Jamie Benn has just been atrocious the past 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And you got young stars like Ropans, who I love. Danny Gurianov, you know, who's a great player, and you're keeping him on the third line to have Radulov take that spot. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
That's where I was gonna say.
Like, excuse me, Radulov has been doing absolutely fuck all, and you're keeping Gurianov below that, and you're wasting his you're wasting his career on the third line. You know, Dallas lost a lot of depth this season when they lost Jason Dickinson to the Canucks. Great deal by Jim Benning, by the way. I know that guy, you know, good riddance, but like, good deal. Third round pick for a third line centerman that can kill penalties.
Hey, if that deal looks good right now, but just remember, you don't have Jim Benning to undo Jim Benning mistakes anymore. Just remember that. But like,
Dallas has got a really solid core here, and they're just not utilizing it the best that they should.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I agree with you. Like, what I was gonna say is, I don't think it's Sagan's fault. I think that Dallas just needs to give him better line mates. Because like when Radulov came back into the league, you know, it's not that I wasn't a fan of hockey when Radulov originally came into the league. I wasn't, you know, I was young. I was young. I didn't really know a lot of the controversy and stuff that surrounded him. But when he came back, wasn't he supposed to be like a goal scorer? The guy's got 1 goal this season in 25 games. He's got 10 assists, but 1 goal. Guryanov's got, I think, let me double check just so I'm not wrong. Guryanov. He has 8 points in 24 games, but he's got 4 goals. Like, you can't tell me that Guryanov, like, you can't say that, like, I agree with you. You can't say Radulov's would be a better line mate than Guryanov. Like, it's not what's going on.
Guryanov has proven that he's deadly on power play. Last year, he played great last year.
Mm-hmm.
And you're sacrificing that player for Radulov, who's in his mid-30s now.
Yep.
I don't know exactly, but I would say he's like
oh yeah,
34, and he's just on a huge decline. You know, that's a big contract to be holding on for a guy who's only doing that. It's hard. It's definitely hard to make a move. You know, to move that contract, especially with Jamie. That's the thing with Jamie Benn and Tyler Sagan. They both are able to still produce at a decent pace, and if you can put them on a completely offensive team like the Bruins, who could acquire them, I think Jamie Benn fit great in Boston. And I hate Boston, but like Jamie Benn could fit terrific in Boston.
Why do you gotta feed me nightmare food? Like, why do you have to fuel my nightmares with thoughts of me having to play against Jamie Benn on Boston? Like, I already have to play against fucking Taylor Hall, Don't tell me I gotta play against Jamie Benn, too. Like, they're on the decline right now. Let me savor this as a Leafs fan for once. Can we stop feeding Boston good players? Like, they're already getting Tuukka Rask back, okay? Like, they're probably gonna make the playoffs. They're probably gonna give whatever team they play in the first round a run for their money. They probably won't win, but they will. And it's just like, you know, it's I don't know, it's annoying. But we've talked about Dallas for a while now, so we're gonna move on to something else. But me and Ethan both agree Radulov is not that necessarily he's the only issue on that team, but that is a glaring issue putting Gurionov in the third line. Figure that out. You gotta get Sagan to produce. But, so we'll move on to other news. So since Brady Tkachuk got bitten, he has played 6 games. He has 10 points. Ryan wanted me to say that Braden Lemieux is radioactive and that he gave Mr. Brady Tkachuk a spidey sense when he bit him. What would you call it? Lemieux sense? We could call it Lemieux sense, actually. I like that.
Lemieux sense?
Lemieux sense. Yeah. I like that one. Yeah, so
alright.
We got that. So the next bit of news we have, the World Junior roster for Canada got announced last week, and Connor Bedard is the 8th 16-year-old to represent the World Juniors for Canada. The list of players are Wayne Gretzky, Bill Campbell, who never played in the NHL and who I never had time to look up why, Eric Lindros, Jason Spezza, Andrzej Bouwmeester, Sidney Crosby, and Connor McDavid. Now that is one hell of a list for Connor Bedard to make, but you know, I hope that doesn't put like unrealistic pressure on that guy's shoulders. Like, you know, like you understand, like, if you're young and you're a young hockey player like you and you're good, you understand that you are a good player and that you're probably gonna get taken 1 overall, but man, that's got to be a lot of pressure going into something like this where you understand like you understand that you're 16 years old and you're going into this thing to play with guys who are all 17 to 20 and you're the underager. Yeah. And you're better than probably most of the guys, if not everyone on the ice. Or you're supposed to be.
It's a lot of pressure. I mean, that's a key word, Josh. Supposed to be better, you know? Like, that's a lot of pressure on a 16-year-old. Like, that's a kid.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy to say. He's a kid.
Yeah.
And, you know, to have that pressure and to be in one of the biggest spotlights of hockey in a year, you know? This is arguably the second highest event of the year.
Oh, in Canada, it absolutely is. What do people do on,
you know?
What do people do on Boxing Day, Ethan? We sit and we watch the World Juniors. Like, that's all we do.
I sit with family relatives who don't even
watch hockey. Yep.
And they sit there and they watch hockey. They watch the World Juniors.
Yep.
That is a Canadian
tradition. It is a tradition.
It is tradition. Boxing Day tradition. We have leftover Christmas dinner.
Yep.
And we're sitting there, we're full, and we're cheering on Canada to beat Russia or USA. And,
it always seems like it's Russia or America, isn't it?
It does. It does. Sweden on time.
That's true. Sweden and Finland always they eventually, like, they make their runs, but you know, I just want to say this too. You know, like my worry for Bedard, right, is, you know, Alexander Lafreniere had a ton of pressure coming in because he was supposed to be a highly talented prospect. And I'm going to look up what his point total is this season so far, because last time I looked, it was pretty tough. Like, he hasn't developed super well yet. I'm hoping nothing for the best for this guy, but I just hope that Bedard doesn't fall or succumb to the same amount. Like, you know, like you're supposed to be this. Yeah, he has 8 points in 27 games this season. That is tough. Like, that is tough, man. And I just hope that people like Bedard come in like Connor McDavid. You have a strong head on your shoulders. You know exactly what you want to accomplish. The world is on you. Prove it. Set the world on fire. I hope Bedard goes to this tournament, leads the entire tournament in points, leads it in goals, just lights it up. Absolutely lights it up. Be a spectacle. Be something that people talk about in a good light. Don't be the thing that people talk about in the negative light, because you're not going to impress everybody. And you don't have to impress everybody. If he can impress himself enough and impress enough people where it doesn't matter, You're 16 years old. You're gonna have probably at least two more shots at this because you're gonna get drafted when you're 18. So you know you're gonna get at least 2 shots because you're gonna get your 17th year and your 18th year. Depending on his birthday, he might only get one more shot. My assumption is he'll probably make it because if he's 16, then what am I saying? Yeah, no. So he'll be fine. He'll be able to play that year, and then he'll get drafted after that. So this is just like, man, come have fun. Like, go in there, have fun. But I do hope that he goes in there and just lights it up. Just be nasty. Make yourself a problem for everyone else. And just hard work, you know?
100%. Because you think that Team Captain's roster this year looks to be one of the best it's ever been. Like,
yeah. I mean, we say that every year, though. Like, that's the scary thing about Canada prospects.
I genuinely believe that this is like one of the best Canada rosters I've seen in a long time. You're looking at Dylan Gunter, Kent Johnson, and Mason McTavish, okay, possibly playing on the first line. Then you got Jake Neighbors, Connor Bedard, and Shane Wright.
The number 1 consensus overall pick from this year, Shane Wright, playing on the second line. The second line! Oh my god! Oh my god!
It's the defensive core has Owen Power, the guy who just got picked first overall by Buffalo last season. You're looking at 3 first overall picks.
Why are we so...
First overall picks.
Man, Canada's so good at hockey. Like, start the kids young. That's all you gotta do. Start them young. They'll do everything else themselves. But like Ethan said, everyone here at Off the Boards is always excited for the World Juniors to start. They're gonna start in just about 12 days. So, we'll end up seeing what happens as they go, but as of right now, I agree with Ethan. That's one of the most nasty lines I've ever heard of in my life for it to even be the second line. So, I'm hella excited. But, I want to cover Vancouver, and I want to cover the Leafs in this episode, and me and you have talked for half an hour already. Time is just flying. So, Ethan, the Vancouver Canucks have been absolutely killing it, my guy. Tell me about it.
It's great to watch great Vancouver hockey.
Yep.
And funny. I asked last week, I said, if we can get 4 out of 6 points, that'd be huge. We already have the 4 out of the 6. Okay, we play Columbus tonight. I said, we count this Columbus game as, the third game.
You're playing the hurt Columbus team, too. They're injured bad, too.
I do believe Patrick Laine is coming back tonight.
Yeah, I heard that.
So, huge props to that guy. That's great. That's awesome. I hope he's doing well. Back to the Canucks, man. Just wow. Astonishing playing right now. The defense has been playing fantastic. Thatcher Demko just got first star of the week.
Read it off.
Okay, you went.
Read it off.
All right. Oh man. Last week, Thatcher Demko was named first star of the week in the NHL. He posted a 4-0-0 with a 1.2 goals against average and a 962 save percentage.
Woo! That's some hot-looking numbers.
4-game span.
Those are some hot-looking numbers, man.
Thatcher Demko that I've been so excited to see since 2014.
That's the one you were promised.
It is the Thatcher Demko we were promised. Thatcher Demko has not been disappointing in the past 3 seasons for us whatsoever. And now with a great defensive team in front of him, it's lights out. The Canucks are able to score goals now. You're seeing a lot more point production from Elias Pettersson and Brock Besser, which we haven't seen all season. And now they are rocking the power play. Elias Pettersson scored the game-winning goal against Carolina Saturday night. Yep. I want to say it was Saturday night.
It was Saturday night.
And now, just in a 2-1 hockey game that was. 2-1. against the Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh yeah.
The boys showed up to play. The Canucks 4-game win streak at the moment under Bruce Boudreau, who has not lost a game yet for the Canucks.
Let's go!
The man is unbelievable, you know. And even if we do lose tonight, I'm not going to be terribly upset.
Can't be mad at the guys.
4-1 to start
at the helm. You go 4-1.
4-1. That's not bad at all. It's a huge upgrade from how we've been playing the first 20 games of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can continue to play like this all season long, I can see us finishing top of our division. So obviously streaks do happen. Obviously you will see cold streaks, but Vancouver's a hot team right now, and I do believe that Vancouver can keep it up under Bruce Boudreau.
I honestly hope that they do, because I have been an advocate for Bruce Boudreau since, like I said, when the Leafs were looking for a new coach a while ago, before we hired Keefe, I was saying Bruce Boudreau because maybe we'd actually win a playoff game. And when Ryan's team, I told him, I said, bro, you got to give Bruce Boudreau, the Habs got to. And he's like, he's not a France Canadian. And I'm like, ay. I'm like, that's so dumb. But, I'm excited for Vancouver because, like I said last week, when the Canucks, when the Canadian teams are doing good, it's better for hockey. It's like, it's a fact. More Canadian eyeballs watching the sport is never a bad thing. But is that all you got? Talk about Vancouver? You want to talk about your guys' upcoming week, or what do you want to see this week?
Yeah. Man. Well, I'm gonna take a quick look at the schedule. I know we play Columbus tonight. I believe after Columbus we play the Sharks, which I am correct about that. We play the Blue Jackets tonight, then we play the Sharks Thursday, and we play the Leafs on Saturday.
Woo!
That's gonna be a good game.
Oh yeah.
We play back. We play Toronto, then we play Arizona on Sunday.
Yeah.
So by the time we do record next week, we'll be playing San Jose that night. So again, same thing as I said last week. Within those 3 games, if we can manage to get 4 points, I will be ecstatic. I will be super happy. And it's just, man, there's so many great things to say about Vancouver as of right now. And this is my last thing, and I'll wrap it up. But the Canucks, to start the season, they have a great core this year. A great top 6. Even you could even say a great top 9. And their third line's great.
I agree.
Their defensive core is a huge upgrade from last year. They just weren't. Same thing with Dallas. They were not getting utilized the way they should.
Is Oil back?
We got a new coach, new general. I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. I could be wrong with that, but
I'm hoping he is, because didn't he go knee on knee with something, or he got hurt? There was some shit. Maybe he's been back for a while. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I thought he got into like a scuffle with someone and he got hurt, but maybe not.
Yeah. Against Suburban. I want to say it was Marchand.
Probably. I
think it was Marchand. He got slew-footed or something.
Yeah, it was a slew foot. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Well, Vancouver is on the up and up. Before I talk for the Leafs, I should probably say this. So, this morning, the Vancouver Canucks actually had to cancel their morning skate due to COVID concerns. There are now, I believe, 35 to 40 active cases of COVID in the NHL. The number is, they keep going up. 3 hours ago, 4 more players in the Hurricanes tested positive. It's so I'll read the list of people who were placed in protocol just today. Brad Marchand and Craig Smith on Boston. Calgary put Milan Lucic, Sean Monahan, and Noah Hannafin. The Hurricanes put Jordan Staal, Svechnikov, Ian Cole, and I don't even know who that last one is. Colorado put Devin Taves on. Matt Barzell is on, and you guys had to put Luke Shen and Jahar Lamiko, onto the protocol list. Which, again, doesn't necessarily mean that there is COVID, but what I will say is this is going to make things very, very interesting, because now the NHL is having to postpone some games, and I'm not going to lie, I think that the Olympic dream for the NHL players is shrinking every day. The more cases that pop up in the NHL, the less, well, I mean, Gary Bettman doesn't want to send these guys at all. Because if one of them catches COVID over there, you're out for 3 weeks. And you're like you're hurting your league at that point because you're hurting your assets. But give me 1 sec. Okay, that's better. Yeah, no. So it's just like a lot. Like I said, a lot of players are on protocol. The game tonight between the Hurricanes and Minnesota has been postponed due to the Hurricanes outbreak. So, like I said, the case number in the league is up to like 30 right now, which it's scary. It's a scary time for hockey players. I'm sure that these teams will come around because even like last year, I mean, Vancouver had an outbreak to put you guys out for like 2 weeks, but you guys ended up coming back, so it's it's not going to be that bad. Montreal is going through it right now. I'm pretty sure Gallagher. I know he was in protocol, but I thought he had COVID. I could be completely wrong, but I know that they had him in protocol. So, like it's gonna like that's the thing. This disease is gonna be around the league, and it's just something that we're gonna have to deal with. Teams are gonna have to deal with it. Teams will figure it out, but we'll get through this as a league. The league will come through it. Like I said, I don't know. Personally, for me, I believe that the NHL players are not going to be able to attend the Olympics. I don't. From a business standpoint, I mean, Bettman doesn't want it to happen, but even as a fan, I kind of don't want the players to go because as much as I want to see Canada go and kick everyone's ass, I also don't want players like Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews to catch COVID over there and come back and not be able to play because that would be really shitty. So, of course, I brought up Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner, so I'm going to talk about them. So, last week, I said, this week we played the Jackets, the Lightning, and the Blackhawks. I said, like always, I only need 4 points. They secured those 4 points, but let me tell you, it was an ugly, ugly, ugly 4 points. In both games that we won, we had a 4-goal lead. The scores both finished the same. 5-4. I swear to God, even when this team wins, it gives me a fucking heart attack every time because it's like, okay, like Mrazek, he was playing well in that Chicago game. I was watching it, and then the third period, he like fell apart. I'm like, bro, like what the heck's going on? And Campbell, I will say, like we lost the game to the Lightning 5-3. Campbell let in 5. I'm pretty sure he played the whole game and he let in all 5. But what I will say is that who was it? Justin Hall left him out to dry 3 times. He coughed the puck up in his own zone. Brody did it once and just gave it right to Tampa, and they just had a free shot at an open net. Like, I can't blame Campbell for that. Of course, it's going to affect Jack's stats, which annoy me because that means that Ryan's going to, like, come at me and be like, see, I told you. His stats are creeping up again. And to be fair, his stats are creeping up. But he's still got a goals against of 199 and a save percentage of 935. Like, it's not dropping that drastically. I think the thing that Ryan doesn't realize is this guy's career. He has a 237 and a 921 in his career.
That's insane stats.
Ryan annoys me because I'm like, bro, Campbell's good, and he's like, nope, playing over his level, and I'm like, no, bro, he's not. He's actually good now. He's like, no. I'm like, actually, I believe Campbell's always been good. I believe he was on a bad team in LA, and he played well in that bad team in LA. But like I said, the Leafs. What's up?
Sorry. In my opinion, there's a lot of Leaf haters out there, and I understand why. But if you don't think that Jack Campbell is a top 10 goalie in this league, you're out of your mind.
Say it
Jack
and
Campbell
say it proud. Woo!
Jack Campbell is 100% a top 10 goalie in this NHL, and he's proven it now. He's proven it. Mm-hmm. Last year he proved it. This year he's doing so again, and you're gonna see he's top. He's gonna be top of the goaltenders in save percentage and goals against.
I love what Ethan just said to me.
Mark my words. You will see it. You will see it.
I'm just gonna soak that all in. Oh yes, give it to me. Give it to me. Oh,
I mean, Jack Campbell is a top end goaltender.
He's so good. All right. Let me go through this real quick. So Austin Matthews has now not only increased his point total lead on the Leafs, he is now way above a point per game, and I say way above. He's 5 points above a point per game right now. He has 18 goals in 26 games, meaning he is well on pace for 40 goals. Well on pace. Probably going to get 50. I would say he at least gets 50. Because I love Matthews. Even with that, ain't no wrist surgery holding this guy back. He's a bad man. Alright, so JT, same thing. JT is actually tied for the Leafs in points right now with 31 as well, but he's played 2 more games than Matthews, 13 goals. William Nylander, 30 points in 29 games, 13 goals. Morgan Riley, Mr. Hometown Discount, is out here, 24 points in 29 games. And one of those games the Leafs won recently, he had like 4 assists. Like, Mr. Hometown Discount out here playing out of his damn mind, and I'm all for it. Because I want this guy to play really good, and I'm so happy that the Leafs aren't going to lose him for nothing. Zach Hyman. Like, actually, what happened with Zach Hyman causes me physical pain. Like, I said this guy was going to have his... I also said this guy was going to have the worst statistical year of his career. I'm going to die on that sword, Ethan. The guy's -5 right now, 19 points in 25 games with 11 goals. What does he need to get his career? He needs 41 points, 21 goals. I'll die on that sword. I'll die on that sword. He was a plus player. He was a plus player on Toronto, and he's a minus player on fucking Edmonton. Friggin' Oilers. The friggin' Oilers always messing things up. I don't know. So, yeah, I guess let's...
have the Oilers scores on the power play.
Yeah. They don't score 5-on-5, but if you get a power play, they're like 40%, you know. So this exactly. So this week the Leafs have we have a Western road trip. We have Edmonton, Canucks, and the Kraken, and then we get a pretty good break. I'm assuming that at some point, either between this game and Saturday's game, or Sunday's game, or between Thursday's game next week, we were supposed to play the Flames. That game was postponed because the Flames are dealing with their outbreak right now, so all the Flames games are going to have to get postponed. Tonight, the Leafs will take on the Oilers at 10 o'clock in Edmonton. Should be one hell of a game. Hopefully the Leafs come out flying because they have been playing really not... they're scoring goals. I just need them to stop playing so bad in their own zone. Like, it's hard to watch sometimes because they're coughing it up too much in their own zone. I don't care. I mean, like I always say, who cares? The Leafs can score 6 goals and they can let in 5. I will die on that sword, and I'm comfortable saying that, but at the same time, it would be nice to win a game by more than 1 goal. Honestly. So then we gotta play the Canucks.
Take advantage of the...
yeah.
Slump.
Then we play the Canucks on Saturday. That'll be one hell of a game because the Canucks are riding their hot streak. Then we have it's a back-to-back for us because we play the Kraken the night after, which should be a pretty easy game, I'm gonna say. So again, out of the possible 6 points this week, I obviously want 4. I think all 6 are obtainable, but obviously I want 4. I think that the hardest game is probably going to be tonight's game. No offense. McDavid versus Matthews is always one hell. Like, it's always hell for both teams. You have 2 of the best players in the league going at it. It's always going to be interesting. You know, Connor could go out and score 6 tonight. Matthews could go out and score 6. Like it's one of those games where it could be back and forth. Like no doubt in my mind, McDavid's the better player. Matthews is one hell of a player though. Like it's like, you know, if McDavid's better than Crosby, but if McDavid's Crosby, Matthews is Ovechkin. Like, you know, like it's there. He's better. Don't get me wrong, but man, is Matthews electric when he's on the ice. So, like I said, I think all 6 points are obtainable. Obviously, I want 4. I think that we're going to get a guaranteed 2 versus the Kraken. Watch them and eat my words, and that's going to be the game that we lose. But I think that the Kraken will give us the easiest game. Yeah, I mean, like, that's really all I have to say for the Leafs. I'll look at the standings real quick. The Leafs are tied for first right now. Unfortunately, the Lightning and Florida both have 2 games in hand. We are tied with 40 points with Florida right now, but like I said, they have 2 games in hand on us. The Capitals are leading the Metro, and do a quick West check because I didn't put them on the screen today. I know, next week I will. I just ran out of time today and I was feeling a little lazy, not gonna lie. The Minnesota Wild are leading the West still. That to me is baffling, but Ethan, what the hell is going on in your division?
It's a shit show. It's a shit show in the Pacific Division.
How are the Ducks the 1 seed? You know, I'm really happy because that means Ryan's gonna eat his words and I can die on that sword that the Ducks were gonna be good this year. And he's like, no, they aren't. And I'm like, Ryan, I'm telling you, this Ducks squad is different. They're built different. I didn't think they'd be 1. I thought Vegas would be 1. And it seems like Vegas is finally starting to turn it around. Only tell that to my friggin' fantasy team and Robin Leonard on my goaltending core, whatever. None of my goaltenders are doing well right now. My 3 goalies, Robin Leonard, Carter Hart, and Hellebuck, all not really playing well this year. Other than maybe Connor Hart or Carter Hart, but he keeps, you know, playing bad, and Hellebuck is annoying the piss out of me. But anyways, that's enough about my fantasy struggles, because I also lost in football this week, meaning that I don't make the top 4 playoffs for money. I'm now playing in consolation bracket. My basketball season's going well, though. I'm 5-3, looking to pick up my 6th W this season. But, yeah, it's enough about my fantasy sports, you know. The Leafs, like I said, the Leafs are probably going to, like, I've been saying this all year, the Leafs are going to make the playoffs. They're going to be one of the top 2 teams in the division. It's going to be a tight race between us, the Lightning, and Florida. After that, it's wide open. The top 3 teams are Florida, Toronto, and Tampa. I don't know how they're going to end up in this division. If it was to end right now, like I said, Tampa has 2 games in hand. They're 2 points behind on us, and Florida's tied with 2 games in hand. So, honestly, I'm not going to say obviously. The Leafs would probably end up being the 3 seed in that scenario if they were to both play 29 games. But this Leafs squad is different. I've been saying that all year. There's something about this Leafs team. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a swagger, if it's confidence. I know that game against Chicago that they almost lost, not this one, but the one before that where they were down. There was like a bunch of rumors that said that in the locker room. Someone basically stood up during one of the intermissions and was like, guys, like, we gotta fucking stop feeling sorry for ourselves. Like, let's go out there and win. Like, we can do it. Like, I'm tired of, like, you know, me as a Leafs fan, I'm tired of watching them be good or expecting them to be good and then they perform poorly. So it's nice to finally see someone step up and finally get into their heads. Let's do it. We can do it. So let's do it. Let's prove to these fans what they cheer for. Because, you know, I would never... Okay, well, that's not true. I'm not the kind of Leaf fan that would go out and throw his jersey out onto the ice. Because the jersey is expensive. Not because I wouldn't want to. There have been moments in the past where I've wanted to, and if I was there, I probably would have thrown my jersey. Cough, cough, last season, Game 7. I threw my jersey across the room. I took my hat, which is sitting over there, and kicked it across the room because I was pissed off, and I said, fuck this team. I'm not cheering for them anymore. I'm going to go be I think I said I was going to be a Kraken fan at one point. But, you know, I think they'll finally get out of the first round this year, and it'll make me very happy. So, let's, Ethan, if you don't got anything else to say, I got a trivia question for you. I'm only going to do one, but this is your opportunity to A, prove that you're not a fake fan, and B, to tie Ryan. Actually, I'm going to check. If you're 1 off, I'll give you 1 question. If you're 2 off, I'll give you 2. Where's my list? Where's my list? Here it is. I think you're one behind. Yeah, you're one behind. All right. Here's your chance, buddy. Ethan. Who was selected first overall in the 1999 NHL draft?
He was a bust.
What?
He was a bust, like a complete bust. I want to say it was Stefan Egg.
You want me to be honest with you? You took the two busts from that era and combined their names.
Egg. And Stefan.
Stefan's the last name.
Oh, what the fuck? What was his name? That's how relevant it is now.
All right, I'll do this because you got both busts from that area, Dag and Stefan. Who was it? Was it Dag or was it Stefan? Because you know who was drafted after that.
Yeah, Henrik and Daniel Sedin. It was Daniel, then Henrik Sedin.
I was really hoping you weren't gonna say one of the Sedins. I was gonna be like, bro, no.
No.
Was it?
Dude.
Was it Patrick Stefan or Alexander Dag?
Patrick Stefan. It was Patrick Stefan, 100%.
Patrick Stefan is correct. I should not have said his name fully, but either way, yeah, it was Stefan. So you have now pulled yourself even with Ryan. I will mark it down that you are now at 10, and Ryan can watch this podcast and cry because now you guys are tied, and now he's got to continue to be smart. Just give me.
I was like, wait, what the fuck's his name, dude?
So.
Pardon my life. Sorry.
No, you're good. Alright, so as I can hear it, Brass Bonanza's playing in the background, so all of you guys watching know what that means. It's the end of the episode this week. Trivia is over. Ethan and Ryan are now tied with 10. I'm sitting at 7. The Leafs are supposed to do really good this week. Me and Ethan are going to have a bitter rivalry on Saturday game versus Vancouver and Toronto. So on Tuesday, I'm either going to be crying or Ethan's going to be crying. One or the other. Me and Ethan will probably not be as buddy chummy chum depending on how that game goes, especially if there's some controversial shit that happens. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, baby. Alright, so like I said, guys, Ryan will be back next week. We will all be back next week on Tuesday. But as always, I've been your host, Josh. Over there has been Ethan, even though he's normally down there. He's over there right now. And together, me and Ethan have been off the boards. We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for checking us out.